Hello, my water signs. Welcome to your weekly reading. And this is for all of my Cancers, my Scorpios, and all my Pisces. And I'm going to focus in on the week of August 29th to September 5th. But of course, if you're coming across this outside of that time, just know that the Creator, the Spirit, they're not bound by time or space. So if your intuition nudged you here, I can imagine that there are messages here, so I would still watch it. If you are watching this between August 29th and September 5th, the energy that I want to talk about is actually the new moon on September 6th is the new moon in Virgo. And so that energy is what's going to be influencing you this week. And I have created individual by sign readings for the new moon in Virgo, which I'll throw the playlist at the end of this video if you want to check that out to see what those energies are. Feel free to do so. But for this week coming up, let's get you specific messages here from the Creator, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Path of the Soul Destiny cards. And these are cards that are created through fractal imaging. And so the creator, Shirley Harnish, she puts like formulas into this program, and she doesn't know what it's going to end up looking like. And then so these images appear. And so I call them the spiritual ink blot test. It's not really a test. It's, so when I show you the card, I'm going to hold it up there for a second so you can look at it and see if there's anything that jumps out to you as a specific message for you. And then we'll read from the book what she intuitively also picked up from the card. So Creator, for our water signs, what do you want them to know about this week coming up here? What information would you like them to know about this week? Okay. Pretty. Card number 14. And I'll kind of zoom in so you can see that a little closer here. All right, and let's look that up there. Of course, it looks like the footprint there is very evident, which this is called footprints. Makes sense. It says you have beautiful intentions of doing well in this world and having a lasting and positive effect on the planet. This was a part of the divine plan you created for yourself before you came here. Those inner aspirations you feel and the daydreams associated with them are the whisperings of your soul calling you to your purpose. This is all part of your journey. The time has come to take the steps necessary to set this dream in motion. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Before you came down here, you definitely had a plan that you wanted to experience while you were here. Amazing things that are unfolding in your life. All the experiences unfolding in your life have been for you, for your path. Even though at times we feel like life was happening to us, life was happening for us in a lot of ways. And so this is a beautiful awareness comes to you this week on what your soul path is, what you really want to do, which really has this, you can see this contrast here. It's almost like a very solid yin-yang instead of it being more curvy. But it's about the opposites. You are this light being that came here to experience what it might feel like to be small and limited, and all the experiences of the human, feeling tiny when you're really this large, huge. And so this is a beautiful awareness around you connect to your higher self to understand what it is you really want in life. Because as the human, we get so consumed into the fear of not being who we think everyone else wants us to be. And it's very confusing because especially the more people you know, everyone has a different idea of who you should be. And so it becomes very confusing and overwhelming, right? And so this is beautiful about how it's connecting to your soul and realizing that you have something that you want to live. And so it's this beautiful transformation of checking your intentions, checking your passions. And really, there's this, usually, if you're passionate about something, it's because it's something in your heart and soul. Where we confuse passion is the anxiousness around fear of being rejected if we aren't who this important person or people in our life have wanted us to be. Sometimes it's like, okay, I've got to make that happen. It's more the adrenaline. That's not passion. It's like this adrenaline feel of, I got to do all this because if I don't, what does it mean about me? Versus it's a different total feeling of passion of going, I'm loving what I'm doing and I don't care the outcome because I love what I'm doing. This other is all about the outcomes. Okay, so some clarification around that. We're also going to pull some cards here from the Rider-Waite Tarot just to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this week. All right, Creator, what else do you want our water signs to know? Okay. What else? And any others? Last pass. Nope, I said no, just those ones here. So these are it here for this week. And you've got the Four of Swords. And so this is really about putting your mind to rest, getting out of your mind, and really get into your heart. So, yeah, I don't have much to add to that. The Three of Swords, I guess I do have more to add to that. Otherwise, I'd have stopped talking, right? So the Three of Swords is usually, it'll show like three swords, poking through a heart. And those are what I call the expectations card. So what I love about how they, separate these is here are the expectations that are what are on your mind. Those are all the fears, like we talked about, the fears of not living up to what everyone else wants, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being perceived as unlovable. And with all those expectations, we have all the supposed tos, all those shoulds, the need tos, the have tos. Oh my God, they are exhausting. You do need to rest. They almost do kill you. It almost feels like, because this is like a church, it almost feels like here's the tomb, here lays the person who tried to meet everyone's expectations. They died of exhaustion. But I love is that the Ace of Swords is what the foundation is, what brings you rest. Because the Ace of Swords is your ability to cut away old thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve you. It allows you to change your mindsets, change your attitudes, change your expectations, or release yourself from expectations. And so it's a beautiful thing, and I never noticed this before, but he's like in this prayer stance, and so this is the connection. He's connecting to his higher self, and that is what brings you that rest and that power and that ability, because you're able to let the old go when you have these beautiful new amazing, encouraging feelings, right? Unconditional love is so much more peaceful and joyful and loving, of course, than conditional love that is all about judgment and fear and failure, right? So I love that this is bringing you rest. It's time for your mind to rest and let expectations go. And then you have the Seven of Wands, and Wands is about your fire, your passion, your spark. It's also about your spirit. But for this, I really feel this is what you fear. You fear that you'll have to defend your position, that if you go after your passions, that you'll have to defend them. And so on one side, you're fearing it, but on the other, what's amazing with this card is that when you, like we were talking about, if it's something that it's just you're attached to the outcome of it. I mean, you're doing it for others, recognition and validation, and it's not your passion, it's your anxiousness to not be rejected. Then you really feel you have to defend, and fight for what you want, because you fear that people are going to take away those things, and that you feel out of control because you're trying to control so much outside of you. But on the flip side, when you are living your passion, you don't feel you have to defend, and you're more than capable. Like, this is the Ace of Wands that he's holding. With the Ace of Wands, that is this pure, renewed passion and excitement and like pinpoint focus. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about all the other, people's opinions and actions towards you, because they don't mean anything to you anymore. It's like you have this compass with this north point, and the north point, you know exactly what it is you want to do, and if it doesn't fit into that, then you don't worry about it. All this other stuff that comes out, well, you should do this and do that. Okay, thank you, I appreciate your input. You keep moving forward. You don't have to defend, because your passion and your dreams don't need to be defended, because they are a part of, like it says, your soul purpose of what you're wanting to do, right? So there's that differentiation that comes from that. Yay! And then you have the World card, which this means like completion of major cycle. So something that was going on in your life comes to a major end, and you have major new beginnings, and you start this other cycle. It's like you've gone around the world, and now you're ready to go around a different world, because you will see the world in a whole new way. And you hold 2 wands in your hands, so you have this capacity more. It's like you have the earthly energies in the balance with the heavenly energies in that balance. And because you have this connection and that awareness, you just see the world in a different way. I love the phrase, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. And so when we're in these expectations and we're in that fear, that fight or flight mode, we feel like we're chaotic inside, and so we see the world as in chaos. But when you really connect to your passions and your higher self, and you're full of unconditional love, it's like you're in this eye of the storm. It almost looks like you're in an eye of a storm, right? You're in this place of peace, and so you see the world as that, and the world becomes kinder and gentler because you're being kinder and gentler to yourself on the inside. So that reflection of the world totally changes. But definitely this is an end of a major cycle and a brilliant, amazing new beginning. Yeah, and here you go. So you got the High Priestess. This is usually like the Pisces card, but it's definitely water sign based. This is you're used to feeling emotion deeply. You're used to diving deep into those waters. You can swim, both the waters of light and the darker waters. You're not afraid of those. That's like your how most people will feel comfortable in the air, which is like the swords is the air energy. People are comfortable in their minds and logic and da-da-da-da-da. You feel like a fish out of water when you're all about logic and thinking and that. You prefer being in the water because you're a fish. Like Pisces is a fish. Cancers and Scorpios, you're land mammals, but you're not mammals, but animals. And you have this connection to the deep, like your gut feeling, your intuition, into your subconscious and the unconscious, into the spirit world and spirit realm. So it's easier for you to connect to your higher self, and these expectations that you're attached to are very emotionally connected. And so those waters that you swim into, definitely the High Priestess is the most capable of dealing with that, because that's her talent, that's her expertise. So with her being present in your reading, this is you going into your temple. This is you and taking some time away to understand and to search and to reflect into those beautiful waters. She gets to see behind this veil. This veil is what shields most, or shields all of humanity from the spiritual world. And so she's able to get the glimpse behind the curtain and connect to that. And so that is this amazing energy and this amazing ability you have to connect to that. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from these divine directions and see what the final message is that the Creator has for you for this week. All my water signs. Creator, what else do you have for our water signs, please? Anything else? I thought there was, at least one more of these. No, it's just this last one here. Yeah. So you've got signs. Your past loved ones are never far from you. Notice the signs they send you. So definitely in with this High Priestess connecting to the other side, you have this amazing support group on the other side that love you unconditionally. I mean, you've got the Creator, who's the creator of all things, right? And then you've got Spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever your faith believes. And then you've got guardian angels and spirit guides, loved ones, who've been here on the earth with you in this lifetime and have gone back, ancestors, and I say unicorns and fairies and leprechauns and, sprites, whatever you believe in, are these beings of unconditional love and light. You have this, it's like thousands of support on the other side. They're constantly cheering you on, giving you signs that they're around you, that they love you, giving you that love energy. So, especially when you step away in your little temple and get quiet away from all the loud fear noise on the outside world, you really can hear from the other side. And this one is specifically saying that your passed on loved ones are never far from you. In fact, the second that they leave their physical body, they connect fully into the higher self that they are again, and they're able to be with every single loved one all at the same time, 100% giving themselves. They don't have to split out their love and attention to one person at a time. They're with every loved one at the exact same time. Yay! And then you have home. It's time to renovate or change something in your home environment or move your home. And I really feel like this is like referring back to this card here, where you're realizing where home is. Home isn't here. Home isn't here. Back home is where these loved ones are at. They're in that place of unconditional love and light. That is just all that we breathe over there. It's love and joy and peace, happiness and laughter. And so just know that that's home. And we're just here visiting. We're here on an adventure. This is an amusement park, a theme park of fear. All these rides that we came here to experience. And we came here on purpose for a purpose. And at this time, then we reconnect and start remembering who we really are and start seeing behind the veil again to be able to walk in this different world. So this cycle that can happen is like the first cycle we go through is, living as this human without really an awareness of our higher self, experiencing fight or flight and all of those expectations we're talking about. And when we reach the second point, then we are that's when we're suddenly aware of, I am a higher being. I'm more than just this human. And you start remembering and discovering your spiritual side. And that's another major, trip around this giant world. And then we eventually get to the point of, embracing and combining our human experience with our spiritual experience and walking together where we can have it all together, hand in hand, instead of feeling like you're this spirit and this ego and we need to fight. It's like, nope, we embrace each other because that is a part of who we are. You know, that's what the yin yang is all about, or yin yang, depending on how you pronounce it. This whole thing is us, both our higher being and our human side. You have the human footprint and the spiritual footprint, and they're both afoot upon this earth. You know, so I love this for you because it's just bringing in such a feeling of hope and connection, and then especially knowing that you have loved ones that are always around you, even if they're not here, they're not gone. Even if they're not here physically, they're not gone. They're right beside you. So I love this. And just know as you go throughout this week, that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have a fantastic week, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. You take care.